Yugi Twitter is a dump. And I mean like a high level dump. I mean like beyond people at Chernobyl are looking at Yugi Twitter and are like, wow, good thing we got our stuff figured out because Yugi Twitter is that toxic. Now, of course, for a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players who don't go on Yu-Gi Twitter, rightfully so, by the way, I will sometimes enter the arena and go and see, well, the cave where these lions roar and let you know what these kittens sound like. Yu-Gi Twitter is one of the most craziest things ever, and it's always evolving, or more than likely devolving, depending on the topic at hand. Yu-Gi Twitter constantly finds ways to insult the player base, or at least alienate a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players. That's the goal. But they do it in the word of inclusivity. You see how that works? It's like someone punching you in the face constantly and saying, stop hitting me. That's Yugi Twitter. If you can understand that concept, that's Yugi Twitter in a nutshell. They're all about letting you in, joining everybody hand in hand. Except that person, that person, that person, that person, that person, that person, and that person, that person, that person, that person, that person. Other than that, we get that person too. We can all come in and join that person. We can all come in and join and be together. Yugi Twitter. Now, if you guys aren't caught up on the full lore, there was a whole thread against me. One of the things that was against me is that I was a Trump supporter. I wore a Trump hat one time in one video, and that was enough to label me as a die-hard political extremist. So, Yugi Twitter had to come and attack me because of a political belief. I'm serious. And of course, MBT over here had to come in and defend me, which must have been really awkward for him because we are diametrically opposed, but at the same time he realized, hey, if I only have an echo chamber full of lefties here in Yugi Twitter crybaby soys, well, that's going to be really problematic because that means we're not going to be able to grow Yugi Twitter. We're only going to have a certain point where we're going to grow and it's going to peak. He's not wrong. He figured it out. Some still have it, and a lot of people still, well, wish really messed up things on Yugi Twitter, which will be going in today's video. I'll be honest with you, I was shocked when MBT made this post because I agree with a majority of it. I think it's great. Of course, I don't fully agree with everything. I like the fact that he's at least saying, hey, listen, we probably should be talking about this. This is probably a really dangerous subject to talk about if we're looking to grow a community. And he's not wrong, to be honest with you. I actually tried to reach out to MBT, but he has not reached back, and more than likely won't reach back. There's somebody like me. Once again, we are diametrically opposed, so it's not a really good idea for us to have a conversation, evidently, because why would you want to do that when you can make a Twitter post and talk about how you want to have a conversation? See how that works? No? Another great example of how indirect bigotry is extremely accepted in society, and barely anyone is actually pro-LGBTQ+. You forgot to mention IAP, by the way, so that means you're also a bigot as well, despite what they say. So, MBT reaching the table actually got backlash from his own fellow lefties. Now, I will say, obviously, Trump supporters don't all agree on everything. I know I disagree with certain things with my fellow Trump supporters, but to see this happen with their biggest icon as far as lefties for Yugi Twitter, it's the Ouroboros. It has to be. It's insane if you really think about it. He says, again, don't want to focus on Paisano. Think he's got enough attention from this already. And also, WTF, dude, you looked up his rap sheet. This is a response to CV Blunder, by the way. What is wrong with you? Once again, MBT, I'm kind of taken back. I'm a little bit shocked. Honest truth, seriously. And I appreciate that. Talking specifically about the resultant threads of people saying keep all Trump voters out. And this is the truth. MBT and I agree on this wholeheartedly. If you want to grow a community, you shouldn't attack other people. Even in the beginning of this video, I did attack Yugi Twitter, and it's kind of hypocritical. You might say, V, why are you saying that? Because I don't care about Yugi Twitter. I don't want them. Whereas in MBT's case, he needs both sides to come together to play this game. And before you go, V, wait a minute, let's just focus on the game. Yugi Twitter has not focused on the game. They use the game as a light sheet of ice, and underneath is a huge cesspool of lefties who are looking to attack anybody and say, we want everybody to be accepted. That's what it's about. Accept everybody, except if you don't believe what I say, then you got to be attacked relentlessly. And MBT kind of understands the fact that, well, this is kind of going out of hand. This is kind of going in a really, 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 really bad situation. So he responds by saying, it was less looking up more than doing research on his now new crypto scam channel. Once again, Stevie loves to talk about misinformation. It's his favorite thing. And he really thinks in his mind that if he does enough misinformation, people will believe it. Unfortunately, people can also Google things as well. And that's where Stevie loses. That he loses the power of Google. There just happened to be posts saying that he has been arrested. Stevie, let's be honest with you. You use this to your advantage. You didn't even know it was true or not. You didn't even care it was true or not. Just like you talk about my crypto channel, which you talk about my old crypto channel name, because you don't even care. Let's be real. You use the misinformation. You lie to your own audience because you think they're stupid. You pander to them by saying I'm a Trump supporter and think your audience is that, and that's it. You don't want to grow Twitter beyond what it is, and MBT kind of does. And this is where you guys both have an issue. There it is right there. He says, he continues to say, voting for Trump as a presidential candidate is not inherently bad. However, I do believe the context in which why you had voted for him is important. See, when you vote for somebody, Stevie knows. He's part of the X-Men. Except the X-Men don't really exist, but he still thinks that he's part of the X-Men. In which he goes, I know why that guy voted for Trump or Hillary or whoever. I know everything about him because he voted for somebody. This is how deranged and retarded these people are. And they're really stupid. They get really upset when you use words like that because you're not supposed to say that because that's going to offend other people. When realistically, they're so aggressively stupid, you really want to know, seriously, have you been tested for this? Because it's insane to see things like this. And of course, MBT doesn't agree with this because he's trying to grow the Twitter community. Once again, he's doing a smart thing, to be honest with you. He says, last YouTuber, he still remembers how we settled beef. The funniest part about this is Dylan Grinder came out and actually said, V, I hate white people, and then we should do a money match, which of course is against Konami's foreign policy and guidelines, and if you do it with a money match, you have a chance of being suspended or banned from Konami. So yeah, I'm not going to have a chance to get suspended for ban. I've never been suspended or banned, and that's because I just simply follow the rules. It's really easily. Also, DB Grinder says he hates white people because, once again, see my other video about the guy who self-hates their own race. It's kind of pathetic at this point. They just do it to pander to Yugi Twitter. MBT continues to say, we should always be willing to expel bigots from our communities. If someone is making someone else feel unwelcome, yeet them. But if you're trying to improve the vibe in a community, you're going to have to meet people where they are. And often, that's going to be on the right. Once again, he knows. He's saying, hey, listen, we need to get some of these guys with us. How do we get these guys with us and expel the other? Like, we're not going to get all of them. We're going to push some of them out, but how can we get them with us? That's the game plan. Once again, MBT, it's a really good game plan, and I'll be honest with you, I would be with you on this, but let's be real. It's not what you really want. You just want some of them in order to push the rest of them out. That's it. So we have this. Man, baby, this is so fun. This is where things get really exciting. This is where I enjoy Yugi Twitter for what it is. A lot of people look at us and get upset and hateful. Once you accept something for what it is, you can sit back and enjoy it for what it is. And that's how I feel like with Yugi Twitter. It's a mess and a cesspool of lefties babbling, pretending to be about Yu-Gi-Oh!, realistically showing their whatever policies they find. And this is what it is overall. And this is why it's so entertaining. This is why I enjoy this. This person says, whose name is Destiny Hero Diamond Dude YGO, says, what you fail to understand is that KKK, Nazis, and Trump supporters are in the same group. Make sure to capitalize it. I did not say Republicans once. I said Trump supporters. They're not the same thing. Isn't that great? Don't you feel welcomed? Don't you feel accepted? Oh man, the love is in the air. To hear this and hear this said about Trump supporters, it's just that there's that inclusivity. Once again, there it is, right there. It's so beautiful. Yugi Twitter, mind you. Diamond YGO has predicted his tweets after going on a vicious tirade against Mega Capital G, calling him and other Trump voters fascists, and arguing that justifies him being excluded from the Yugi community. This sort of cowardly behavior might be condemned. Now, for anyone who's on the left who's actually watching this video, and I hate really talking about politics, but you got it in this situation, and overall throughout when it comes down to Yugi Twitter, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't there, it's mostly Twitter lefties pretending to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Players. Anyway, when you come to this kind of situation, you gotta realize the fact that all these people don't like you. They don't like you. If you voted one way, they hate you. They think you're two things. Either one, you're stupid, or two, they honestly do think you're a fascist. They don't want to get into any conversation beyond that once they figured out in their minds, not yours, their minds, it doesn't have to be yours, that you're a fascist. Once they come to that conclusion, you are screwed. You're a fascist. How? I deemed it so. Or you're stupid and they can kind of negotiate with you. That's it. That's how it works with Yugi Twitter. Poor MBT has to keep going and fighting his own people, saying, folks, we do a little leftist infighting. Good luck clearing out the coastal cities with common charity vanguard. That's right. Iron Man's a lefty, and he'll pay for everything, says MBT. And he's not wrong once again. And it's so entertaining to see MBT just go, oh, God damn it. All right, you're an idiot. You're on my side, but you're wrong, and here's why. And it's, come on, man. Like, stop it. But once again, MBT, you kind of brought all this on yourself. And it's nothing against you, by the way. It's the fact that the echo chamber has never been challenged. And by even you challenging your own echo chamber, things like this happen, unfortunately. It sucks to see. I reached out to you on Twitter once again. You can DM me. You don't have to DM me. Whatever you want to do. But I still reach out because I want to break bread. I want to have a conversation. I honestly, truly do. And I think it's important to have those conversations, whether people are diametrically opposed or not, because there's common ground we could work on. There's always common ground. There's a way to at least rationalize things. And for both of us to grow together, to learn from each other, if you really want that. Or you want to say that. It's a bit of a difference. Once again, Yugi Twitter does not disappoint at all with attacking people. Remember, inclusivity, that's the word. It means to let everyone together, no matter who they are, just come together. Everybody. Except you. Definitely not you. Did you vote Trump? Okay. Okay, you're a fascist. You. And everybody else. Except that guy. Everybody else. So come on and join. This person says, I really don't care about your politics. What I care about is being an ignorant bigot who lives in an echo chamber of Twitter instead of the real word. LMAO, y'all all MAGA suckers really doing the craziest mental gymnastics. Anyway, ban Trump voters for life. Oh, I'm sorry. From life. It's a really bit of a change of difference. For and from. Anyway, yeah. Ain't that funny? Isn't that crazy? How's that feel? That's Yugi Twitter. There it is. I talked about it in the past, and in my past videos, I always mentioned and tapped on the fact that this is what they're about, this is what they do, and this is what they're focused on. They have the illusion, and this guy, once again, has the illusion of Yu-Gi-Oh!, but they don't care about Yu-Gi-Oh! They're casual at best, and realistically, they just want to use it to promote their own narratives. Yugi Twitter, on the top. Rest of the cake, filled with bullshit. Poor Mega Capital G, once again, this guy is fighting to just try to have common ground as well. It's not just MBT. Mega Capital G has went in and said, okay, listen. And here's how he said, congrats, you brazenly go against everything I thought of this community was supposed to stand for in terms of inclusion. He's not wrong. I believe everybody, no matter their gender, orientation, religion, or political affiliation, should be accepted in the Yugi community. Perfect. Right there, if that was said, once again, from the beginning of Yugi Twitter, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in right now. Now, Mega Capital G understands the fact that no matter which side you're on, you should be included as a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Because it should be kind of important that you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player to be in Yugi Twitter, right? Well, not really. They don't really care if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player or not. They're going to attack you, just brazenly, openly. And if you think differently, that's the person they want to go after. Don't think differently. Think like all of us. Be a drone. And you too can have the luxury of being with us. You think differently? Get out of here, is what Yugi Twitter says. He goes on to say, okay, stand that principle then. Publicly announce anyone who voted for Trump should not be welcome to your community because they are a bigot. So, I access to the entire Yugi Twitter community. Denounce every single person from this community who is a Trump supporter. Go ahead. See how that works. By the way, if you are a Trump supporter, hell, if you're someone even on the left, I'm okay with you. I have no problems with you. Don't get me wrong, I think your side's wild and crazy, and you probably think my side's wild and crazy. Fair, fine, no big deal. Let's talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's hang out. I'm totally fine with that. I'm friends with a lot of people, but I'm both political left and political right. It means nothing to me when it comes down to these cards. When it comes to these cards, these Pokemon deck boxes are showing. When it comes down to these cards, I don't care what side you're on politically. I just want to play this with you. That's it. But the reason why I want to talk about this today, the reason why this is so important to me to talk about, is the fact that Yugi Twitter has been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. A year ago, we would not have mentioned them other than that they're a joke. They're a little group of people that just rant, rave, and yell. But they've grown because they've taken a political side, left-leaning of course, Twitter, and now they're using it to attack anybody who believes differently. You have to fully believe the source. And in the case of MBT, who is quickly finding out, if you even derive from the sources, no matter how popular you are, you get attacked. It's that simple. This is my favorite. Harley Gaming. Man. It's so funny finding more people that find ways to just make Yugi Twitter so for themselves and not really for anybody else. Check this out. He says, as a result, there's two kinds of Trump supporters. Those who know he's a fascist and support him anyway. By the way, a little fun fact to anyone on the left throwing it out there. There is not one Trump supporter on this planet who would tell you that, oh, he's a fascist, but I support him. Not one. Not one. Not one. We don't see Trump as a fascist. Not one person on the left does. Any, zero, null. Sorry, that's not how that works. But anyway, let's continue. He says, those who are ignorant and don't understand what they're supporting. The first group is our enemy. The second group is full of potential allies. Soft Brain Gaming here decides it's a good idea to say two things. Trump supporters are either fascist or stupid. We can work with the stupid ones. The fascist ones are our enemy. This is how insane these people are. Harlan Gaming also operates a YouTube channel in which he talks about Yu-Gi-Oh! Don't be wrong, perfect, but of course when he goes on Yu-Gi-Oh! Twitter, it's not really about Yu-Gi-Oh! As it is about his political grandstanding. Talking about how great it is to be a lefty and how fun it is to be in an echo chamber and smell their own farts. Realistically, this does nothing to benefit anybody. Saying the opposite side is full of stupid people or people that are just are politically insane doesn't really work. You have to break bread. I want to emphasize that point once again because MBT knows that just as much as I do. He understands that. Even though, once again, we are probably politically disagree on everything, me and him both came to the same conclusion. You need to have people on both sides on your side. Obviously, it's going to be majority of one, but you still want a minority of the other. It's very important to have that. And for somebody like Hard-Leg Gaming to come on and say, you're either stupid or a fascist, you're an enemy or you're an idiot friend, doesn't really bode well for him as far as gaining sympathy or support. 205 likes, a majority, all of them, every single one of them, is obviously from people within his echo chamber. Nobody's gonna sit there and go, oh, that's true. Think about it if you're on the left. Just think about it for a quick second and say, everybody on the left, you're either stupid or you're communist. How do you feel right now? You're probably like, what the, screw this kid, right? Arguably, yes? Okay, doing the same thing to Trump supporters is the dumbest thing you can do. He goes on a whole tirade about it, and once again, it's some of it. It's him trying to haggle through, not be attacked by his lefties. So he's doing those little dances because even Hardleg is afraid of his own community. Say something good about Trump, Hardleg. See what happens. Try it out. This person comes out and says, I don't care for the unks. Oh, for the one who voted in the past. My conflict are with the supporters supporters he has nowadays. After all the BS has happened, there's where my gripe comes from. Forgot to put the E. And Paisano is one of them. That's right. If you currently voted for Trump in the past election, you right there. Hey, listen. You right there. You're a bad guy. You're in trouble. Don't vote for Trump currently. And don't support him, definitely. Because that means you're the bad guy, according to this person. That's how it works now. Sorry. You're either stupid or a fascist, according to Harleg. And this person, if you currently like him, then you're just bad as a person. The other person wants you to be exited from life. This is the kind of people in this community. Yugi Twitter. That's them right there. All because I made people are calling me transphobic because I made this. I want to emphasize this right now. I am not transphobic at all. It's a silly notion to say somebody's transphobic because I was talking about this person who really is a horrific person. Things this person said are atrocious. And if anyone in the trans community is actually upset about that, let's be honest with you. If you are upset about that, then you're always looking for us to be upset about any little thing. I honestly am not, and I don't know how many times I'm going to emphasize that point. But to see that people are getting upset about something as silly as this, about this, what this person said out of their mouth, you're missing the beat of the whole situation. It's wild, man. MBT made a joke and got attacked for making a joke. Familiar? And if you're attacked for making a joke and they're already mad at you, MBT, little fun fact, there's not nothing you can really say other than, hey, man, my bad, I'm sorry. And I am. But it doesn't really matter. Because no matter what you do, you get Twitter eats it up. They eat the drama up. That's how they work. They don't work on excuses. They don't work on apologies. They don't really care. The only times they actually care is when you agree with them. Then, hey, let's listen to this guy who agrees with me. I want to hear what he has to say. This person agrees with me. Go ahead, agreeer. That's what they're about. Stevie tried on blocking me. Obviously, he's still trying to farm drama. He tries so hard. It's so sad he tries. I mean, when you don't have time to go to Yu-Gi-Oh! Events, I guess all you do is sit home and farm drama. So I blocked this all account as well who tried to at me. You know, it's crazy because I thought he was banned until 10/7/2020. It turns out that is not true. I do apologize, Stevie. I thought you were banned for about 2 years up until 10/7/2022. I'm sorry about that, Stevie. You're actually banned until the 13th of 2024. So you have a ton of free time to sit there on Twitch or on YouTube or wherever, bitch and complain, attack me for being a Trump supporter. Because why not be a Trump supporter? And to anyone out there watching right now, if you're watching this video and saying, V, you're going through a lot for just being a Trump supporter, imagine having a different belief and being attacked for it by the people who attack you for saying, no, we're all about people with different beliefs, so we're going to attack you. So, I ask everybody right now, how'd you spend your weekend? I had a great one. Man, I went out riding. It was 70 degrees out. It was so beautiful out there, and I enjoyed every second of it. It was fun, and I hopefully, honestly, whether you're politically left, whether you're politically right, or whether you don't care about politics at all, and good for you, you had a great weekend. I hope everyone has a great weekend, because I know I definitely had an amazing time. As other people went on rants and raves and hours long Twitch streams, bitching, moaning, complaining, babbling, where people went on Twitter and were screaming and yelling and fighting over definition of words to make themselves sound like a less of a horrible person, even though realistically they don't want to talk to anybody else. They just want to sound like talking about anybody else, because they realize the fact that a majority of people are still on one political side and they need to get those people on there. Some are just straight up telling people to die, but that's called inclusivity in the year 2022, and especially coming from Twitter. When something like that happens, go out for a ride. Go out and enjoy yourself. Spend time with your friends, family, and especially enjoy this game. Anyway, Paisano, this is your boy V, and you boys have a great day.